Hi everybody, hope you're doing well. So I just want to go over my current support case with the Broadcom slash symantec support team who's contracted to look after symantec products. It's, TD Synnet, I believe is what they're called. And anyway, I'll start by reading the complaint. Thank you for contacting the Tech Care Service Center. Please see the case details, case ID number, case subject, symantec installation issues. My name, my site ID, my phone number, my company name, product version 14.3 RU3, operating system installed on, exact details of question or issue. We are having installation issue on the latest product RU4. After installation is complete and after a reboot, we get a system integrity violation in Windows security. That isn't quite true, but it's close enough. This occurs either an upgrade or new installation. I've tried it on multiple systems, Windows 10, 7, 11, etc. That's not entirely correct because endpoint protection manager is really what we're working on here, not the client. The client has problems as well of the same type, but that's not what I'm complaining about. So that's kind of wrong. But I guess etc. covers it. Issues persist. Exact error message received. Event ID 5061. How many machines are involved in question? Business impact. Is this a portal issue? Anyway. So the next issue was we did a Teams meeting so he could view the evidence in question. It's TD Synnex, SYNNEX, by the way. That's the name of the company now. It used to be just Synnex, but now they got TD in there like they're a bank or something. I don't know. So we did a Teams meeting. I showed him the events in question. He took photographs of them. And then that was it. And anyway, yeah, I'm really struggling to find this next email. Maybe this is it. Based on the information provided, it seemed that you were experiencing an issue with audit failure related to the service accounts for symantec products. That's correct. And a specific audit failure, it has to do with certificates. It doesn't mention that though. To address this issue, here are some tips that you could take. And I want to get the one I sent back to him so I can read you the answers in the same one. Okay. And but anyway, he tried calling me, and I emailed him back, says I'm in a meeting, and I emailed him a link. I said, please look at this, and this was a Microsoft document on what event 5061 means and all the reasons it can be triggered as successfully or fail. This describes the event ID in question and its potential actions. It, however, does not list all the error return codes, only success. Based on my research so far, our return code may indicate a key not found or invalid or damaged in some way. This is all about RSA and software signing, not patches. Because the first thing they asked me to do was to use endpoint protection's host integrity feature to check if a Microsoft patch is installed. That was their first suggestion. So they're alleging there's a problem because I'm missing a patch. So I asked them two questions. I said, okay, what patch am I looking for? Because when you read through the instructions on how to set up this process, this host integrity feature, it asks for the KB number. Well, that didn't give me an answer. So that's when I sent them this web page describing what event 5061 really means. It has nothing to do with a patch missing. And I'll remind you, I installed it on 2012 R2, 2016, and 2019 servers virtual, physical, and upgrades or new installation. I tried all of it. It all results in the exact same thing. 3 different types of error messages, one from the client, 4 each from a service on the servers. Anyway, so let's move along. Okay. So he says you're experiencing an audit failure related to service accounts for Symantec products. To address this issue, here are some steps that you should take. Check if the Symantec protection software is up to date. The first step is to make sure that the Symantec protection software is up to date. Check if there are any patches or updates available for the software and install them if necessary. And I asked him, how to check this? Live update has run. Does it not provide updates? I never got an answer for that question. And then it says, verify that the services are running. Check if the following, and he mentions a bunch of services. And he mentions some services that aren't used in this product anymore because they're not using SQL Anywhere or SQL Any. So, but he mentions making sure. So I enlightened him that some of the names are invalid. The SQL Any is only on the old product, as 14.3 uses Microsoft SQL Server. The services are named, and I list them all out for him, so he understands. And they're all set to automatic startup, and all are running. I restarted each of these services. The star indicates the service that causes the log entries and how many. So something called semserve is 4 error message, and semapi-serve is 2. Every time you restart those services, you get failures in the audit logs. Anyway, configure the audit logs. To configure the audit logs, follow these steps. Now, what he wants me to do is he wants me to go into group policy and configure a specific fail and success. Well, all that did was give me a whole lot more logging, and it did not make those failures disappear. He was hoping it was going to hide them somehow, but unfortunately that didn't work. So it says open the local security policy for the system where the audit logs are being generated. Expand the local policy section, click on audit policy, find the object access policy, and make sure it's set to success and failure. When I found it, it was not configured. In the same section, find the audit directory service access policy and make sure it's set to success and failure. And again, it was not configured. Restart the system. And I said, done. This will not address the problem as it just reports what is happening and cannot change what is happening. And that's correct. Getting the logs to say something different doesn't address the root cause. Anyway, check if the issue persists. No, still persists. Also, many more successful logs for other things log way too busy now. I'm going to undo this. Anyway, and he says regarding the message appearing after the reboot, it's likely because of the audit policy is configured to generate a log entry for each instance of failed object access. Well, no, it's not. It's configured as it comes out of the box without any modification. So he tried to accuse me of setting it up to log these things. And I told him it's Windows DVD stuck in the machine, default install, nothing else. Anyway, and I said to him, disabling security. He says, I said to him, what's worked as designed. We need to know that. If you have the above steps and the issue persists, could you try disabling the audit policy or filtering out the audit logs for the service accounts mentioned above? So he's asking me to try and hide them. Right? And I said, disabling security logs does not sound like a good idea, and filtering them out sounds worse. It just hides the issue, not fix it. Okay, looking forward to working with you at the earliest. I think it's an issue with the certificates you're signing your software with. There are several different ones. Do you have a list of how many? Doing an inventory by right-clicking properties on each one would take a while, if it can be done at all. And what folders are they stored in so we can look at them? And then I sent them a link to key storage and retrieval for software, signed software article from Microsoft. Anyway, and he told me yesterday, because this was on the 16th, that he never looked at the document. I don't think he looked at any of my comments here either. Anyway, let's move on. And then he called back on the 17th, and it rang for half a ring, and he called twice. And I was sitting on the phone, and I couldn't even pick it up, and it stopped ringing. So I don't think he wanted to talk to me. Anyway, uh, he wanted to update me on the next steps. Anyway, and I said, it's a holiday weekend coming up. I'm going to be away till Wednesday. Let's say 10 a.m. We'll get together then. And then he comes to Wednesday, of course, and he says 12 p.m. lunchtime, not 10 a.m., which is what I suggested. Anyways, okay, so he could make it. And just let me find the next email. Anyway, I could probably remember this. This is the last thing that happened. So they wanted another web link today. Another Teams meeting today, which he tried again in vain to hide the problem. First he tried downloading a certificate, which was already installed, and it didn't change anything. And then he tried to do something else, which I don't remember at the moment, so I'm gonna have to pause and think about it. Oh yeah, it was classic. How could I forget this? He wanted to turn off the tamper protection for the client, and he says that will make the audit failure go away. And tamper protection is something that malware is prevented from turning off the software, and that's why they call it tamper protection. So you can't even restart the service with in the services list with symantec endpoint because there's no option to stop or restart the service. It only stops and starts with a reboot or command line input. Anyway, so he did that. I rebooted the machine and it made no difference. You know, and so he failed again, and so then he tells me that it's going up to the administrator, the big chief administrator, and then their decision will be final. And I said to him, look, did you look at that document I sent you about TPM and software signing keys? No, I didn't. Well, you should look at it, and you need to talk to your developers about it, because my theory is TPM needs to be enabled for this product to work properly, and your developers have built it in, and they haven't told anybody about it, and that's why we're here today. Because all the machines I put it on are TPM 1.2, and I didn't tell him I tried turning it on, but I don't think it's new enough. It needs 2.0. Anyway, so here it is, more than 24 hours later, and I'm waiting for an update to my case. I'll bet they have, you know, they're going to try and fluff me off. Last time, they wanted to, a year ago, they wanted to come and have another look at the server, and I said, well, what's the agenda? What are you looking for? Oh, we just want to have a look around. I said, well, you already did that. How many times are you going to do that? Nothing's changed. So they were stumped. So they wanted me to do another WebEx section. I said, no, we're not doing that. You need to come out, you know, build your own lab, duplicate the problem, and come up with solutions. And they ended up closing the case rather than doing any of the work. Basically, this company, nobody there knows any idea of the software. I don't think they've ever installed it. I don't know if they're going from manuals or maybe they're using Chat AI. Who knows? Or Chat GPT, whatever. And maybe he's giving them all the things to try. But so far, all they did was try to find ways to hide the problem, not correct the problem, not identify why the problem occurs. Clearly, there's a certificate required for the software to start up and run. and it's unknown, so it fails the audit. And sooner or later, that's going to be a problem as time goes by, and it becomes mandatory to understand and work with these things. So I wonder what they're going to do now. Are they going to actually go to the developers and say, what's going on here? Is this guy right, or is something else going on? Because we can't hide the problem. So what are we going to do? Find a way to fluff them off again? I think that's what they're going to do, but we'll see. Tell me to patch the system again. Maybe if I install some language packs, that will fix it, eh? Anyway, I'm becoming facetious. So that's an update on the synnex support call. It's been going on for over a week now, and with no results. And last time it went on for a month, and they never ever solved the problem. And it's the same problem. They should have figured it out. I complained about this a year ago, and that was with version RU3. Now 4 and 5 are out. I've tried both of them. They still all have the same problem in my environment. I don't know why. Well, I think I know why, but nobody wants to spend the time and the work to find out if I'm correct or not. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. Talk to you soon.